Place in ancient northern India. More figures appear in Nepal today. More than 2,500 years ago, a man who dared to resist traditional understanding of wealth, strength and happiness. His name is Siddhartha, but he is famous all over the world in the name of Buddha. His story started with the noble Sultan King Shakyas and their wives trying to have a male heir replace him, but encounter Dream Queen Maya's obstacle is a white elephant visited priest of the Kingdom of Six Tusks shows that this is a very promising. Marks the end of the monarch's pregnant. Her son is destined, become the powerful leader, empowered by the queen, gave birth to a son on the way there. The beautiful Lumini garden, where she holds to the branches of a beautiful tree, and brought her son into this world. The baby is very beautiful. There seems to be a glowing halo surrounding it. He proves that he is indeed a special child, a wise saint called Ayat. Called to see the baby, he burst into tears when he saw the child. When he was asked to explain why he cried and said it was because the prince is to get the real liberation achieved by saints. However, he spent his whole life seeking a guru. He was already dead when he reached his destiny, so he wouldn't have a chance to find the answer. He was looking for someone who could also explain. Tell the king that this child can't. He is so eager to replace his heir. When his time came, he ascended the throne, will leave the palace to find. In fact, the little Prince Gautama is completely away from the outside. The world is just as his father feared destiny will take away his son. His kingdom at the time of the birth of Siddhartha Gautama. Age, he was offered several young men. He chose the princess as his wife, decided to choose Yasodhara. The beauty and virtues bestowed upon her by the king, one of the couple's 3 magnificent palaces. Perfect for another summer prep, rainy season and winter palaces. They are called palaces, 3 happy couples. All the material goods they need. The couple lived a happy life. A healthy child was born named Rahula, and the king were very happy because his inheritance seems. The king finally felt relieved and allowed his son to be on the walls of his palace. Look at the kingdom he will rule future. But the prince's route is choose carefully so that he meet the world. Even though he was connected, it was painful. Siddhartha, the beauty of the world, considered a suffering person. He has a serious illness, never seen it before, and it pained him to think about it. His loved ones can also suffer like this, a disease he had never encountered before. People are either so old that almost all their strength has abandoned them. Begin to reflect on the limitations of life and the inevitability of death. Siddhartha, Gautama felt pain because he could not find out how people cope. Possibility of death always lurking around the corner, and he met a homeless man who looked poor but have an unshakable spirit. Prince goes to confidence and peace. AIC personnel and was informed that he had give up a comfortable life to pursue freedom. His spirit is freed from suffering. The world after returning to the palace, Prince Sasha has been thinking. AIC's words suddenly changed his destiny, revealed to him that he must give up everything, that kind of luxurious and happy life, embark on a spiritual quest, the silence of the night, Artha Gautama, evade his father's pursuit and start his own life. Self-mission. The knowledge possessed by Prince Siddhartha Gautama gave up his luxurious lifestyle, began his journey. Traded his silk robe for his simple clothes are like people's clothes. He who lives in the forest is now alone, away from all his excitement. The wealthy court Siddhartha Gautama had gave up everything that bound him, returned to his old way of life and set out. Find those around the world can help him achieve his goals. Siddhartha Gautama learned the art of meditation, from and perfected by the masters of Alalokama technology in the field. In the void, where is the Buddha's heart can be separated from materials. Consciousness does not perceive only infinity. Yet even if he considers this, Siddhartha still considers valuable lessons. This is not the answer he wants turn up after enlightenment. He began to meditate with Master Uddaka. Raputa, who teaches his new meditation technique, improved his self-reflection of young Gautama. Appreciate these lessons but point out useful but not enough. Siddhartha Gautama then set out for the king of Magadha, gathered by AIX. They practiced together, like Siddhartha gave up a comfortable life. Life is simple when they observe the new man's promise and his way committed to daily practice. Addicts convinced Siddhartha Gautama. It's the person who founded enlightenment and behavior. Siddhartha learned to transcend. His body ached with pain and hunger. For him to fully master his body and senses, nothing can, he's barely eaten anything, bother him. Not anymore, so he got thinner. The Buddha was weak during this period of his life. It's called a 6-year fast, but Siddhartha noticed that his weakness was, this will do him more harm than good, keeping him from the path of wholeness. Because even his reasoning is hampered, will end his fast accept an offering from someone peasant woman? It turns out he is despised by Ayyakiks. They thought he had give up following their path. Following the great is considered righteous. Quick Satara, Gautama, thoughts and implementations. None of the extremes advantageous, he should choose the middle way, avoid indulgence, and Sasha continues her radical austerity. I believe it is important to find this, achieve a balance in spiritual practice in ordinary life. After years of wandering and studying, Siddhartha stumbles upon a beautiful fig tree. The tree came to be known as the Bodh tree, Siddhartha. Gautama said he could sit in its shade. One can only stand. Once he found the enlightenment he created, then make a mat out of grass and leaves, sit down, face turned. He began to meditate toward the east. The spirit of the world rejoices, but the devil will not allow ordinary people. Mortals must break the chains of bondage. He arrived in the material world. Mara demon, desire and deception appear to divert attention Sasha. From the target he tried to seduce Siddhartha. In all the ways Mara brought beautiful woman's vision and attempt, distract Sasha with violent scenes. But there is neither fear nor desire caused by Mara, which may distract Siddhartha Guadalcanal. Then Mara dares to find someone who can testify for him. Favor proving his rights, Siddhartha's enlightenment. Touch the ground with your hands, showing that the earth itself is his. Then witness it on a full moon night, Siddhartha. Gautama overcame ignorance, recalling the pain of past lives. Learn about birth cycles and death according to karma. Finally master the 4 saints, truth is the way to the end. Suffer at sunrise, Siddhartha Gautama. The final enlightenment gained became, Buddha is an enlightened being who knows how to fully awake from his meditation. Buddha has thoroughly understood the essence. Reality is the source of pain, he is still on the road to liberation. Another 7 weeks under the tree, absorb and think his profound experience after nirvana. Buddha chose to share his knowledge with others, world and start wandering. Spread his teachings after Siddhartha Gautama. Now enlighten and become a Buddha. Established goals to help others through his teachings so that they could find the way out of suffering. Buddha. Know that most people are not ready, receive and spread this knowledge. He looks for those who are better fit to receive his teachings and then recalls his colleagues' initial. Met him with suspicion, believed him, he abandoned his mission when he stopped. However, they soon realized that fasting. The man standing before them was not, he exudes a calm aura, full of energy of love and compassion. Main themes of Buddhist teachings are the 4 truths become one of the important themes practice. The first thing in Buddhism is do a truth. It asserts that life is suffering, essentially unsatisfying and painful. This does not mean that life is just suffering, but everything exists in terms of conditions. This includes the unsatisfactory nature of suffering from pain and death, also refers to more subtle, the suffering of impermanence, the inherent unrealization of existence. The second truth is the origin of collection source of pain, pain as desire or obsession. The Buddha taught that suffering comes from our unquenchable desire for happiness. Existence and the source of this longing does not exist. Ignorance is when there is a misunderstanding or ignorance about the matter, the true nature of reality, especially its. The third truth about the nature of impermanence is nirodha, stop suffering, claim that suffering can be ended. This is achieved through nirvana is an ultimate and complete state. Nirvana is not freedom from suffering a place, but a state of being or transcendent achievement. Constraints on conditional existence represents the end of persistence and hatred. And the fourth and final truth of ignorance is Magga is the path to cessation. It provides the means for suffering. This is the way to end the pain. The eightfold path includes right view, right explanation, right speech, righteousness, rightness of life, diligence, mindfulness. These truths of Samadhi become central. Basic Buddhist teachings can help Buddhist teachings taught by his disciples. After that, more and more people paid attention to Buddha finally returned after all the hardships, returned to the motherland and reunite with him, his old father and his son, Rahula. After reaching the realm of Buddhism, he became a monk. Buddha declared at the age of 80, "It's time to prepare to leave this world and to achieve final nirvana." He lay down, gave him between two blossoming trees, final instructions and start digging in. The final meditation into nirvana. Time of cremation of Buddha's body. Relics scattered and placed in sacred places. Become a monument to a place. Buddhism spreads to various places. World, especially China, Japan, and several Buddhist schools in Korea. And tradition has arisen, but they all follow the basics. Lessons taught by Buddha. The world is the path for those who seek enlightenment.